after 12 on beautiful afternoon on Women Radio. And this is Panorama. Yes, and on Panorama, we have the ladies come together, discuss and dissect and disagree on topical issues for the day. Yes, not said now that it's a whole lot going on in our country. It's a whole lot going on in Africa, in Nigeria to be precise, because we're Nigerians. Yes, and my name is Ruby Rudy. My name is Ruby Rudy, and I have in the studio with me Bukola Femi Ajala. Good
Yeah. Good afternoon,
afternoon.
Rudy. Good afternoon, listeners. It's Thursday, so
Yes,
we are supposed to greet in a
look
mother
than tongue.
tongue.
Yes.
So
Hey, what's my mother tongue? Oh?
eka san sa, eka san ma, eka san gbogbo le ṣe ṣàlàfíà làbá yín ṣe dáadáa lẹ́wà. Eh,
Taiwo, remind me, what's my mother's tongue? Oh, Taiwo, remind me. All right, I have Taiwo in the studio, my production assistant as well. Okay, I'm from Edo State, Ishan to be precise, but I grew up in Lagos. Don't judge me. So let me just use pidgin.
Mm.
Okay. So, una good afternoon, no, my people. How na day? Una good afternoon, my listener. This afternoon, a very lovely afternoon. So as make una dey listen, make una just sit down tight, listen to the program. Now Panorama na come your way. So yes, I want to represent you in the board for last week. Yeah.
I think I had even a boy in you. How you not day, my people?
I remember.
So waka go your radio now, make una dey listen.
Yes, so na
make una
Panorama.
sit down, make you listen. If you feel call. Make we yarn this story well.
Yes, it is very, very important. And the story line when we bring up today, I think I'm actually flowing in this. I might have to continue.
Okay, continue. When you get to my tummy, I would change them back.
Okay, this is Panorama. And yes, like I talked earlier, the storyline for today now about also when Itai Gili, Itai rapper, and kidnappers when demand soft drink before releasing the Ahmadu Bello University students from Zaria. So, Bukola, when I was going through this story, yeah, I'm back on my normal listen. Let me flow. 9 students were abducted. 9 students of Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, Kaduna State, were abducted on their way to Lagos, Badagry. They're from the Department of French. So, it's typical for you to always go to, let me call it the French town. Yeah, in Badagry, we have a French village where you go, you learn more about French and all of that. So we have most of the university, even non-secondary. I remember I was in primary school when I made that trip. Yeah, they call it excursion. Yeah, I was younger then when to Badagry, French village, and I for a while. So I know how that road can be. That road we have a lot of custom officers, police officers as well along the road. And sometimes you have to, when going is even quite better, but when coming back, customs can stop you at every checkpoint to check for contrabands and all of that. But that's not what we're talking about today. So I know the journey far as back 2010, 11. So it's a long journey. Now, these students came to Lagos to visit Friend Village in Badagry, and they were abducted, along the expressway by gunmen. Yes. So I don't know the journey routes of Abuja to Kaduna, but I only know of the route from Lagos to Badagry. It's a long journey. So these students were coming through, and they got attacked by gunmen. And report has is that when they kidnapped them and abducted them, they had to. They requested for soft drinks. Okay, going further, the students and parents also gave reports, and they said that when they got to what's it called, that's in Abuja, basically they said they asked for carton of drinks, sorry, carton of milk and the crates of soft drinks. And in my mind, I'm wondering, is that the latest trend for ransom now? And why is it that there are no more securities lives are not really assured anymore in our country. And if there's a country we want to build, there's a country we want other people to come in and, invest or come in to take a tour or invite them over for one program or the other. If they are not guaranteed of safety, of security, then it's a big issue. I want Bukola to please elaborate on this because I'm standing in my heart. These are just mere students. I mean, we're even students, and you had to attack them. They were attacked by gunmen, and then the ransom fee or what they requested for was crates of. You could have just gone to the nearest store to get. But I know that there's more to it. So, Bukola, what's your take on this?
Yeah, good afternoon once again. It saddens my heart when you hear such things and you wonder, do we really have a government that cares? So it's not an issue of do we have a government, but it's an issue of do we have a government that cares about people?
Mm,
You see, this Abuja Kaduna Road has been on the limelight for about some weeks now. They've been talking about it, quite a lot of documentaries and quite a lot of interviews have gone on it. I mean, even in the media, they've shown the road. A lot of people have talked that their lives, even on that road, is not safe. And you keep wondering that, okay, security personnel are saying they're monitoring, they're there. I agree that they're not spirits, that
yes.
they cannot be everywhere at the same time on that long stretch. But I also know that there is technology that they can deploy. I mean, since that road has been marked a road where kidnapping occurs regularly, they should use technology. They should
Mm,
use their expertise. They should use their God given talents as security officers to make sure that such things do not happen or reduce it drastically. Look at the students now. Thank God they have been saved. But if you read through their story, the agony the parents went, the agony they themselves went, you find out that
yes.
what is happening. And Rudy, this is because we just had their story. Rudy, I can tell you stories along this road and all other roads, but we don't get to hear them. So for me, it's an issue of these people have taken it, number one, as a business. No issues. It's a thriving business. Two, they have also found out by the body language of the security personnel and government that they do not care.
Hmm.
In fact, one can actually stand on a platform to say, because this thing has been going on for a long time and you have not solved it, are we sure you don't have a hand in this thing? Are you sure we're not partners in progress, partners in crime? You understand? Because when you when you hear some news, some stories, and then at the end of the day, you now hear another side of the story, you now find out that okay, some security personnel have compromised. And then you're now taking it to a larger level that people have been complaining about this kidnapping thing. They've been complaining about this armed robbery thing. And yet the government is saying we are doing our best.
Hmm.
Look at the remark Mr. President gave when this APC man, he had an issue. I think it was a kidnapping thing, or no, they killed him. The APC, one of the chieftains in APC, and all that.
Yes.
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 The remark Mr. President gave was, let the security personnel make sure they do their best. I mean, that's not how he said it, but
Just yes.
that's
So
the whole
you take
idea.
from it. Yes.
And for me, it was like, no, this is not it. This is not it. And lots of things happening that we do not know.
Hmm.
For such a thing, honestly, from a military person, I mean, an ex-military person, it is a command. You understand? And even the way it's going to command, you will know that this one means serious business. And some heads will roll. By now, we keep saying it, heads have not rolled. It's like they are just saying, you know what, in Yoruba, one forward lori.
Hmm.
Báwa ṣe, ẹ má bínú. It's like you're now begging them to do their job. They were there to protect citizens, and if they're not doing their job, you kick them out, you put them out. That's it, and put people that can do it. But for the story of today, it's quite interesting to see how they used technology, and I think that is why the Senate has called the Minister of Communication,
Yes.
to say, hey, these people, they use technology, they use phones. What are you doing? Because if you look at the story, if you listen to the story or you read the story, you find
Yeah.
out that they call, and it can't be just one call. Now we're talking about 9 people, so they must have called 9 families.
Yes, they contacted their parents themselves
Yes,
as the
and it
bandits.
cannot be just one call. You understand? There will be several calls because we know how it is. They started negotiating from 30 million. Some parted with 4 million, some parted with 1 million, some parted with 500, depending on your negotiation
Yes, and the
ability.
capacity
You
that you could
understand?
handle.
You understand? So that means it cannot be just one call. There might be series of call. And do you know what? The interesting thing is that except if they are doing these calls at different locations,
Hmm.
but I want to believe that they must be in that same location. They must be. Experts will probably tell us, but I mean, based on the little
I
they're
want to
always,
believe so because one of the
yeah.
parents who claimed to be part of the team, who delivered the ransom, said the kidnappers first directed them to Abuja Junction.
Yeah,
Then later they changed it, but all still happened within Abuja.
within that
Yes.
location. And then there was somewhere too that the person was writing mentioned that they got to a place and they saw people in security outfits. So we do not know if they are genuine security officers or maybe
Or
they are fake whatever, but they must have used that if they are fake. But that's not even the issue for now. The issue is they used the mobile phones. And we know that one of the tools they have been using for years now is that mobile phone. And technology has advanced. Judy, it has advanced that you can track. You can track. I mean, common fleet cars. They'll say car trackers. They want to know where your truck is on the road. It is as basic as that, not to talk of sophisticated one. How do you know that this missionary, the missionary we were talking about, where the Navy SEALs came from US, to hunt them down and rescue? It's technology they used. There are quite a lot of apps, even using the GPS or the geolocation apps, and all. There are quite a lot of sophisticated ones that and it's very simple. They call through a mobile phone, and we know the little bit we even know. I mean, we are not even experts in that field, but the little bit we know is that, I mean, it sends signals to the next base station. So they can always pick whatever they want to pick from that because everything is connected. So you want to tell me that even in my own layman language, that a call came in, though I agree that most of the time they'll tell you do not involve the police. But in this story, we know that the security people were involved because at a point in time, the one of the sisters of the victims mentioned that they actually did this solely on their own without the help of the
help of
government
any
and the security.
yes, any
That
security
anytime they
agents.
were always going there, they will hear the security officer says, "We are monitoring them, we are tracking them."
Them.
So even if they are doing it in a lazy man's way, they're actually tracking them, except maybe they're just using that to just do bobo.
Lip
But to be
service.
serious, they can actually track them because you can now begin to look at how many calls came in. We're talking about 9 families. So
Yes.
they must have gotten a call from a single number, one, options from different numbers,
Numbers.
because they are also sophisticated. They don't want anybody to track them. And you might even, it's even funny. They might not even use a phone of theirs. They might have picked a phone from one of the victims so that you cannot trace their IMEI. Because with the IMEI, that's the device number
That they
which you
can
can
use.
use. So they might have even used one, but it's still okay. What we're even saying is that a call came. They should have looked at the nearest base station and then begin to monitor. Even when they are moving out of their station or moving in, they can always track because all these things go straight to the base station. So they can always, okay, they have moved from here to this place, they have moved from here to this place. But Rudy, you know what? Somebody was telling me a story. The security person telling me a story that the truth about it is that with sensors and high equipment, they
Mm.
can trace you, they can see you.
Mm.
Because already there are satellites up there that we cannot see, but they are
Yes.
seeing us.
Yes. I think they call them the god. There's one that is also the god eye.
They have the god eye. They can
Anything.
see. How did they kill this guy? Obama bin Laden or whatever it is.
Osama bin Laden.
Exactly. I mean, we saw the pictures. The things we are done far away, and Obama and his team, they were looking at it from the TV, from the screen.
Mm.
So the issue is, if the government really wants to do this job, by now they will have been rounding their thousands. They have made it a business. They only come out to say, "Oh, we've killed one Boko Haram, we've taken one," but the one they have taken,
Yes.
maybe it's just a scapegoat. Maybe one out of.
Or 090-256-25455. And you can send your text or WhatsApp message to 070-317-56537.
Hello?
Hello, good afternoon.
Rudy, how are you? Rudy, how are you? Have you eaten this afternoon?
Yes, I have. Thank you. Can you turn down the volume of your radio set?
To do that now, our leader always just addressing about depression. I don't really know whether they are big concerned about all this activity going on. You understand?
Mm. Hello? Oh, we lost that call. It wasn't sounding clear, though. Well, you can call back on 07000917917 or 090-256-25455. And you can send in your text or WhatsApp message to 070-317-56537. This is Panorama. I don't know if you saw one of the reports that stated that the bandits sent some of the parents, a telephone number to call when they wanted to rescue their children. And he said, we called the number and the person came to take us in a car. Unknown to me, the owner of the car was also a victim. His daughter was among those that were abducted.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we have a call. Oh, we lost that one. Please call back on 07000-917-917. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, baby.
Good afternoon.
This is a calling from you.
Oh, good afternoon, Nefi.
Yeah. Good afternoon.
The caller is in the studio, yes.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yes. Yeah, good afternoon, man. Well done, man. What happened to Dinabad? Not be hearing her voice for like 2-3 years now.
Yes, even about traveled. She had
Wow.
something to attend to, very urgent.
Okay, no problem. Well done, man.
Yes.
Yeah. Concerning our security in this country, my dear sister, it's only God that will help us because everybody is scared. You don't know who will be the next victim. I'm telling you, what place can pack with the kidnappers. I don't really understand what is going on. It's as if we don't even have somebody to speak for. Whether it's shut down, closed, everything the whole system is not just working. I don't really get it. What is happening? This is this country. So let's do for our people. Everything we are just on our feet. In fact, God will help us.
Amen.
God will help us.
Amen. Thank you very much, Ife. Like Ife outwardly said, we don't even know what's going on. We don't know what's happening. It's as if we don't even have the security personnel out there to protect us anymore. So the way it's played out in the story, it seems the bandits were well equipped and they kind of played a form of trick on the parents as well. For them to have contacted one of the parents to go pick the rest, and unknown to the others, the person driving was also a victim. So I'm looking at it that, wow, this was well played out, but it's also not a good thing on our security personnel. They need to, because honestly, I can't sit myself down to imagine that I send my children to school and it's normal. Will I now start hindering their movements in school? children in higher institution, they're supposed to explore. They're supposed to, go visit places where they can gain more knowledge. And now, should I now? Do I have to? A lot of us can afford. Some people can afford private securities. So when a child is going for excursion or probably an exhibition, would you now send a private security? I don't
Rudy,
understand.
you don't.
This is
You don't.
not. This is not
So how many
acceptable.
security
No, that's what
personnel?
I'm saying.
No, it's not.
It's
It's
not
not.
acceptable.
It's
What
not.
are security personnel
It's not.
doing about
It's
this?
not. It's
It's
not.
it's it's a it's an eyesore. Let me put it that way. That parents would have to go through. They were the ones who went to rescue their children by themselves. What happened to the police? What happened to the armed force? What happened to, let's not even involve them, but the police? What happened to them? We have a lot of securities on the checkpoint, on expressways. What happened to a whole lot of them?
Rudy, this matter. We need God's wisdom in it because there are so many fronts in it.
Hmm.
The number one person that is supposed to take a stand, action, is no other person than Mr. President. But look at what hear what he says. Look at his body language. You understand? It's like for him, the security officers are doing their best. And we, the people that elected him, we are saying these people are not doing, they're not even doing their best. We don't want them there. Kick them out. And he hasn't gotten to that. He has not seen it. Even the so-called National Assembly at a point, I mean, early this year, they said, well, we cannot tell you what to do, but we can advise you. That is why we are here. We are saying, change this, your heads of security. They are
Okay.
not doing well.
I want to believe that. Okay, let's just assume that the president is beclouded with a lot of duties and responsibility. What's the position of the vice president? What's the position of minister of defense? We have security, top-notch personnel. What are they doing? If the president doesn't have time for this or is
Madam
beclouded,
Ruby, Madam Ruby, well, you are talking, in your innocency of mind, that in terms of the office, as per the office architecture, what are they doing? But you see, to me, it's like, if this is the direction of the
yes,
head, you can't antagonize him. That is what we have been suffering in Nigeria. And that is why we will keep saying that who is driving the bus? The person who is driving the bus matters. Just like, I will keep referring to Good to Great book. It will tell you the first person is who is on the top. The person on the top who is driving the bus, who are the team, the members of his team. If all of them are good, everything. It's just like we'll talk about the fish.
yes.
The fish, once the head of the fish is good, every part is good. You understand? So, but when the fish head is bad, all the other parts are bad. So the only thing we keep talking, because they have that platform to keep talking and keep pressurizing the government, the president, and then also with the electorate, with the citizens, we Nigerians, we should still keep talking. But you see, for me, is what is the way forward now? You understand? We might not be in that position, right now, to say, I'm going to kick. We are not even in that position to kick. We can only pray, because God says, pray for those who are in authority. You understand? Even if he's a bad person or he's a good person, the Bible tells us we should just pray. You understand? Pray for wisdom. You understand? And let them choose right. So those are our own prayers now. You understand? But then we also, I want to talk to individuals, because the chief security officers, they are human beings. They have families. They have children. They have relatives. They want their name to be in the good book, of Nigerians, right? My own is, can we talk to them? Let them do what is right. You understand? Let them do what is right. Even mere police station that you are, it's in your community. You're the DPO, the people that are there, let them speak well of you. Do what is right. Let us get into a community, and when they are talking about, stakeholders in the community, when they get to the police, they should say, oh, that DPO and that person is an action person. When he came in here, he eradicated all the criminals. There were no more armed robbery, there were no more stealing, all those gang, all those whatever, he had cleared them out. It doesn't, anything he hears that is not fit to be in a community, he cracks it. Not that you want to go into that place. In fact, they are the ones that are the Baba Saleh, giving them guns, giving them this, that even when you get there, once you can bribe them, let's not do that. You understand?
So because meanwhile, let's say you can call in on 07917 or 09025625455. I want us to go into another aspect. The arm of the chief of armed staff, I wouldn't want to mention his name, has said that the poor state of roads is hampering the fight against the Boko Haram insurgents. And he said, according to him, the dilapidated wash-off roads, which were built 40 years ago, are sited in Borno and Adamawa states. So he said over a decade long, insurgents has claimed 36,000 lives. Million, that's if you convert it to Naira, in Borno and Yobe states. He now said he wants to use this opportunity to express how bad roads in areas of military operations are affecting our responses to tourists, attacks, and ambushes. What an excuse.
Well, you see, depending on the side of the line you are, you can accept it, you can reject it. Most of Nigerians will reject it, that you're talking trash, and that's the truth. But yes, he has come to say, when you don't have anything to say and you must talk, you must look for something. You understand? For me, that excuse is not tenable. You said my boss, is that if you are good, even if your tools are not that good, you can still make use of it and bring something good out of it. But when you are a bad person, even if you have good tools, you will say that your tools are not good because you don't know how to use it. You understand what I'm saying? So I see it from that angle, that even the little equipment that you have, what have you done with it? Yes, we know everywhere the roads are bad. It is not from your mouth that we should hear that. You understand? You have your security meetings with Mr. President. You should be hammering that. You understand? But the truth about it is that if you look at their vehicles, their tires are not our own regular tires. They are built for rugged roads.
Exactly.
There are places you will go to fight, and there are no roads. You understand? So you cannot tell us that it's because of the state of the roads. You understand? To me, it looks like, you are blaming your tools. You understand? We should not be.
All right.
It's not just road you use. You use the air. There's the air space. You understand? And if you must use the roads, your vehicles, your armor tankers, your trucks, their tires, they are durable. They're not like our own tires that's under,
we have a call.
It will scatter.
Hello, good afternoon.
Ruby.
Good afternoon.
How are you, my dear?
Fine, thank you.
And your guest?
Bukola Femi Ajala.
Doing great, sir.
I greet them all.
How are you, sir?
Panorama,
she's not around. She had an urgent work to do, but she'll be here soon, probably next week or so.
Please, whoever is telling you that it is a bad road that is disturbing them, I want to give that person a proverb. They said a bad workman always quarrel with his tools.
Oh, we just said that now.
Whenever you don't know what to do, you will say, this hammer is not good. In fact, this chisel is an old one. Meanwhile, your mates that are serious, they are delivering results with the same tools that you don't like. Ruby,
yes.
Do you remember how the taxi girls were adopted? Do you remember what happened on that day?
Yes.
On that particular day, A 200-kilometer stretch of road was left empty by the police, the army, and the DSS. And these people came in a 15 Hilux trucks in a convoy. And while they were driving down, Amnesty International, we are calling our Nigerian army. 5 full times they called them to the thing around until they finished the operation from 2 in the afternoon to 5 in the evening. When they now left, you started the blame game. Where does that happen? And under that, it was a curfew period. I hope you remember. That place was under curfew. That place was under curfew. On that day, the army, everybody vacated that road for them. And now somebody is telling me it is bad road.
It is well.
It is that. The only thing is, like I keep telling people who care to listen, it is better to pursue black sheep in the daytime, because when it is time for you will not see it. You see this thing that we are talking on every time we talk. It's like pouring water on stone.
Okay, so Mr. Darlington, sorry to cut you short. Mr. Darlington, sorry to cut you short, but you could help us wrap up because of our time.
Okay, I want to wrap up now.
All right, thank you.
The enemy we are up against does not take prisoners. That is why, since we have been talking, they move from one infamy to the other. They are not even listening. So we have to change this strategy. If not, our children will inherit this problem. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much, Mr. Darlington. All right, so could I quickly wrap up in less than 2 minutes?
Yeah, I mean,
time.
my own wrap up will always be, what can we do as Nigerians? You know, yes, we have to protect ourselves. You know, self-responsibility, like I always call it. But I will hammer on the fact that even where you are in your sphere of influence as a security personnel, whatever duty, whatever you are, maybe you're operating at the community level, at the state level, or at the federal government level.
Yes.
Do good. You are there for a reason. Don't compromise your values. All of us were always talking about values. It is value. When you are there, right, and you hear that this died today, this died yesterday because of kidnapping, armed robbery, but something must move you to say, no, it cannot be. I keep referring to the story of Esther. Esther was already a queen. I mean, she could have closed her eyes to say, me, I'm already in the palace. If the Jews want to die, let them die. But she said, no, these are my people. And that is what I want to close with. They are your people in the community, in the local government,
All right, thank you very much. And with that, we've come to the end of today's show on Panorama. And Panorama holds from 12:15 to 1. Bukola Femi Ajala, as always.
Thank you, lady.
Thank you very much. My name is Ruby Rudy. Up next, tunes.
To sponsor this program, please call 080-90-582769.